Philadelphia news, team of my heart. You've heard all the Sixers news, but do you know why one key player left this summer? It's the kind of move that shakes a team, especially when he was crucial to last season's success. He brought leadership, consistency, and was a major part of the Sixers' core. The real reason behind his exit? It wasn't about basketball. You'll want to hear the full story and how it impacts the upcoming season. Don't miss out, subscribe now, hit the bell, and stay updated on all things Sixers. You've probably been wondering what's really going on with the Sixers. They've been building this summer, bringing in talent that's turning heads. Players who will drive the team toward contention next season. The buzz is loud, the energy is electric, and everything is moving in the right direction. But there's always that one move, that one decision that leaves you scratching your head, right? Why did a certain key player, someone who became vital to the rotation, decide to walk away from the opportunity to contend for a championship with the Sixers? This guy wasn't just a name on the roster, he played crucial minutes, gave the team the depth it needed. Night in and night out, you could feel his impact. He wasn't about the flash, wasn't about the spotlight, but when you watched him work on the court, you knew he was holding it down. His leadership? Invaluable. A veteran who had seen it all, who could stabilize the team when things got shaky. He started most of the games. He put up the minutes that mattered, helping hold it together when things got tough. And off the court? Let's just say his voice in the locker room was as vital as his presence in the game. So why did he leave? It seemed like he fit right in with what the Sixers were building. With all the new talent surrounding the squad, it's hard to imagine why a player with such a clear role would make the call to leave the team, right? Here's the part that stings, it wasn't about basketball. He was comfortable in Philly, there was a chance for him to stay, and he wrestled with that decision. But sometimes, life outside of basketball takes over. Family played a part. When you're balancing life on and off the court, sometimes the pull of personal reasons can outweigh even the best professional situation. That's the pain we feel now, he could have been part of something special here, but instead, that choice was made, and you're left thinking about what could have been. As much as we understand why he had to go, it leaves a gap. A piece of the team that won't be so easily replaced. We were so close to seeing him back in the lineup, doing what he does best. But family comes first, and he made his decision. Now, as much as that hurts, you're still looking ahead. Because, let's be real, the Sixers news keeps rolling, and you know there's still a lot to be excited about. The Sixers are stacked. This isn't a team that's going to fold because one guy decided to leave. But you can't help but wonder, what if? Should I write the next part? You knew this wasn't going to be an easy loss. The guy brought a certain presence that went beyond the stat sheet. It's not just about how many minutes he played or the points he put up, it's about the intangibles, the stuff you can't always measure. You could feel his experience in every possession, in every defensive stance. He had the kind of IQ that brought calm when the team needed it most. And now, he's gone. The Sixers have a strong roster. You've seen the names, you've heard the hype, and you're probably feeling pretty good about where this team is heading. But losing a player like that leaves a mark, even if you don't see it immediately. He wasn't the star, but he was a glue guy. The type that makes the team function just a little smoother. And when you lose that kind of presence, you can't help but think about how the dynamic changes, how the rhythm of the team might shift. He was steady. He knew how to fit into a system, didn't force anything, just played the game the right way. Those types of players, they're hard to find. And when you lose one, you wonder if the team can maintain that balance without them. It's not something that shows up in the headlines, but you feel it in those tough moments when the game's on the line. He was the guy who'd make the right pass, who'd be in the right spot defensively, who'd take that corner three when it mattered most. You've seen the Sixers grow, adapt, and evolve over the years. You've seen them handle changes, but this one feels a little different. Because this wasn't just any player walking away. This was someone who understood his role and thrived in it. And that's rare, especially in today's game. He wasn't looking for the spotlight, but his impact was undeniable. He gave you confidence, didn't he? When he was on the floor, you knew the team had someone who wouldn't let things spiral out of control. Now, you're left thinking about what happens next. The Sixers are still deep, still loaded with talent, but when you lose that kind of veteran stability, it raises questions. Can the team adapt? Can they find someone to fill that role, to step up when things get tough? You can't help but wonder how this loss will play out when the games start to matter, when the pressure builds, and when every possession counts. But that's the thing about the Sixers, right? They always find a way to keep pushing forward, to keep moving toward that ultimate goal. Still, it doesn't make the loss any easier to swallow. Because deep down, this player could have been a key piece in the championship puzzle. You could see it, couldn't you? That potential, that chemistry, the way he fit into the larger picture. And now that picture has shifted. The Sixers news never stops, but this one? This one sticks with you. You can't help but think about what could have been, how close it was to all coming together. So, have you figured it out yet? Have you pieced together which player left such a gap in the Sixers lineup? You probably sensed it right away. It's the kind of loss that hits you differently because you know how much he contributed even if he wasn't always in the headlines. This guy was the definition of consistency. Game in and game out, you knew exactly what you were going to get from him. And that kind of reliability? It's priceless, especially in a team like the Sixers, where every piece of the puzzle matters. You've seen how important it is to have players who don't need to be the star but still deliver. The ones who make the game easier for everyone else. That's who this player was. You've watched him step into any situation and handle it. Whether it was defense, hitting a key shot, or simply being in the right place at the right time, he made everything smoother. And now that he's gone, the question hanging over the team is, who's going to fill that void? Think about it. You can have all the stars, all the flashy plays, but if you don't have those guys who do the dirty work, the little things, it doesn't matter. You know that as well as anyone. You've followed this team long enough to see how vital those glue guys are. And now, without him, the Sixers are going to need someone else to step up. But who's it going to be? Can anyone really replace what he brought? Now, here's where things get interesting. The decision wasn't about basketball, which makes it even tougher to swallow. He was comfortable in Philly. There was a real chance he'd stay and continue to be that stabilizing force the Sixers needed. But life outside the game pulled him away. You get it. Family matters, and sometimes, it takes priority over everything else. It's one of those things that reminds you that, at the end of the day, these players are human too. So, do you know who I'm talking about now? It's Nicolas Batum. The veteran who gave the Sixers exactly what they needed, only to leave because the pull of family and familiarity with Los Angeles was just too strong to ignore. You could see how he fit into the team's plans, couldn't you? You could almost picture him being part of that deep playoff run, making the smart plays when they counted. But now, it's not going to happen. And now, you have to wonder, how much will the Sixers feel his absence? Sure, they've got a stacked roster, but the loss of a guy like Batum is felt in more ways than one. What do you think? Do you see someone stepping up, or is this going to be a lingering question all season long? If you're as invested in this team as I know you are, then you'll want to stay updated with all the Sixers news. There's always more to talk about, always something happening. So hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and make sure you don't miss a single update. We've got a long season ahead, and you'll want to be there every step of the way.